Hey guys, and welcome to another podcast from the Idiots with Internet. What's up, you freak fucks? We have a cool guest. It's a old friend of mine. Her name's Janelle, and she lived in a van and kind of traveled across country, and we're going to talk about that. Janelle, how are you doing today? And yeah, what's up?
I'm doing really good. What's up? How are you?
I'm good. The first thing I wanted to ask you is like, what made you want to try this journey?
Um, it was something that I thought about for quite a while, and I had just kept seeing, people on YouTube doing van life stuff, and I was like, I want to do this. Like, I've always wanted to travel, so I
Yeah,
figured, why not?
nice. How old were you when you decided like, all right, I'm gonna give this a shot? Like,
So this was 2 years ago. I was 26. Um, it was it was right before I turned 26 that I decided that I wanted to buy a van. I was
hmm.
like, okay, I'm about to be 26. I'm gonna buy a van, and not even 4 months later, I bought my van.
Yeah, but like, so you bought the van. Was it for the purpose of traveling, or because if not, I mean, it's there's only one other thing you'd buy a van for, and I'm pretty sure we all know what that is.
I do have candy, so
Hey, I got bikes.
I got bikes.
I got free
No,
bikes.
um, but yeah, no. I bought it for the purpose of traveling.
Nice. Or to camp in, or like something like that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
What
I
kind of
figured
what kind of van was it?
it's a Chevy Express. It's a limited edition Starcraft.
Ooh, nice. So it's got like a little upgraded interior, like sort of like an RV type style, or
Yeah, it's like an RV, like
like
kind of family
comfier
camper.
cushions. It's got little curtains over the windows and stuff.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, it's got the nice curtains,
Nice. Old
uh,
school, like
the
70s style, right?
woodwork. Yeah, woodwork on the inside. It's nice.
What'd you pick that thing up for?
I bought it for 4,500 bucks.
Wow, that's not bad, dude. If it was in great shape, I mean.
It was in great shape. I mean, the owners took care of it. It only had two previous owners. Um, yeah, it was in good shape, low miles,
Yeah. Old folks?
and the motor. It was just a family that I knew.
Oh, nice. That's even better. Yeah. Someone
Yeah,
you can trust.
yeah, exactly. They put a lot of work into it, and I loved the van. Actually, when I got it, it was wrapped. They had wrapped it for their company. They had a CBD company, so it was wrapped in hemp leaves.
Oh,
But
cool.
with traveling, I was like, I can't do that.
Unless they're gonna pay you for like, like, hey, I'll give you like I don't know, like $200 a month to go rep our company and just drive around.
Right?
That would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that
So
would be
yeah,
sick.
you got the van like, so did you start modifying it anyway, before the trip?
Yeah, so um, it was actually almost 2 years ago to the day that I started doing conversion on it. So I ripped basically the whole back of it out.
Okay.
It came with those, like big, comfy two captain seats in the
Yeah.
back, and then it had like the nice fold out bed, like back seat.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I
Like where
ripped all
you could
that
have
stuff out.
it's like a couch or a bed
E- exactly.
or
Yeah.
passenger seating, right?
Yep. Ripped all that out, ripped the carpet out, which is like shag carpet, really like old school. I mean, it's a
Typical.
2000 van. Yeah.
Wow, 2000, and they still held on to that shag rug carpet. Someone,
They did. They
shag,
didn't want to let go of it.
someone's like, dude, we can't let it go. We just gotta keep it in there. It keeps you warm. It is insulation, but
Yeah.
it's fucking hell to clean. Um, all
It
right,
is,
so you
yeah.
started converting it. You start planning. Like, what was the initial plan? Like, were you just to kind of go and figure it out along the way, or did you have a certain goal in mind?
I'll be honest with you. I had no plan.
Okay.
Um, I guess that's just how I am. I'm not a very good when it comes to planning shit out. But I mean, I knew I wanted to convert it. I wanted to put a bed in it. I wanted to have a space for, storage. I wanted to have a sink. I wanted to have a portable toilet, solar panels,
Mm.
extra batteries, just kind of the whole thing. It was nothing like super fancy, but I knew I wanted like the bare minimum
Yeah.
of what I needed.
And in terms of like weight, with all your gear and the modifications you've done to it, like it wasn't overweight, right? Like you thought it handled fine and like it doesn't suck too much gas or.
So when I did the first conversion, because I actually redid my bed platform about a year ago, um, because I used some of the original frame of the metal that was in the original part of the van
Mm.
for my bed frame, and I realized it was too heavy because it was just like this fucking metal frame. I mean, I could feel it when I would like stop or, to pick up and go. And after I changed that conversion, I think it helped a lot with my gas mileage because it was a lot less weight in my van.
Yeah. Yeah, that would always concern me. Like the amount of stuff I would need. I mean, being alone is one thing, but like if you had even like another person or an animal with you, I mean, it's that shit weighs up. Like extra food or whatever if you're gonna be making a long trip, and like water, fresh, clean water,
Oh yeah,
whatever you want, or need, I guess. It does add
yeah,
up, and yeah,
for sure.
that would definitely kind of I would want to keep an eye on that because you don't want your brakes to fail or not be able to fucking stop or go or whatever, or like flip the fucking thing.
Exactly, yeah. I actually, fun story, if you want to hear about it. I did burn my
Yes.
brakes out at one point.
Oh shit.
It was like really scary. So I was in Northern California going through the redwood forest, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna take this off road. I'm like, this is gonna be sweet. I just like found this road that goes through the redwoods,
Nice.
uh, turned into a dirt road,
Oh,
and
oh.
I went up this really steep hill, and this dirt road was real long, and then it finally turned into pavement. But I'm like at this top of this mountain, and I'm like, all right, well, this is the only way out. Like I'm gonna go this way, and this road was just so steep, and my dumb ass didn't realize, you know, you put your gear in a lower gear when you're going down a fucking hill, and you got a heavy ass van.
Yeah, if you have a big load like that, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And then like not ride the brakes all the time, give them some breathing room, like because you don't want to
Right.
constantly apply pressure, otherwise your brakes will overheat and then they will fail. You
That
smell it,
is
and then it's pretty much
exactly
too late. you know?
That's exactly what happened to me. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. Uh, yeah. Didn't think of the idea of putting it in a lower gear, so.
Well, it's a
But it
good
was
thing that
fun. I mean,
you're safe from it. I mean, fuck, you made it through. You earned like
I know,
a
right?
like what is it when a captain goes on a boat and he goes through like a rough storm and gets like a fucking like a patch or like an extra thing on his shoulder or something. You got one of those that
Yeah,
day.
dude. I sure did. I sure did.
So where did
But it
you
was good.
start? Like when you started the trip, you started in CT East Coast or
I started in from Charleston, South Carolina, actually.
nice. And then
Yeah.
from there, like where did you start going?
Um, from here, I went to Asheville, North Carolina, which is like kind of like a hippie town, like mountain town. It was cool. Actually stayed with a friend out there that I knew. Um, Hung out there for a day. From there, I
I
kind of went
assume
like
this friend likes crystals.
for sure.
Ah,
Oh yeah,
nice. Very good. Very good.
big big into crystals.
Very good.
um, yeah. Uh, from there, I went through like Kentucky, Tennessee. Is it Kentucky first? Yeah, I think it's Kentucky first, and then through Tennessee, and then I went up to Ohio because I was planning to like one of my plans was to go see my grandfather, which I'm really glad that I did, because he actually passed last year.
Ah,
But
shit.
um, but yeah, so I went up there. I saw the Great Lakes, um, which was so dope. Um,
Seems like an ocean.
they are like huge lakes. Never seen lakes so big.
It is wild.
Wild. Yeah, and then I just plan to go west.
Fucking manifest
Until
destiny,
I,
dude.
hell yeah, just went west until I hit Washington. Um, so many beautiful places, dude. I've been to like 12, 13 national parks, something like that.
Nice.
Um, yeah,
Have you seen like
it
the
was
Grand
awesome.
Tetons in Wyoming?
Oh man, that's one place I didn't go. So I went to Yellowstone and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go because I think the Grand Tetons are south. Pretty sure they're south of Yellowstone.
Mm.
I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go, and then I just didn't end up going that way. I ended up going more north. Actually, I almost went up to like the Canadian border, uh, to Glacier National Park in Montana.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah.
I personally, I've never got to see any of those. Our mutual friend Mark, he's been out there in the Yellowstone and Wyoming, the Grand Tetons and or Tetons or whatever. And
Yeah,
same
however
with
you say it,
Pat.
I don't even know.
He was out in Yellowstone and his cousin, so they got
That's
to see it.
awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, Wyoming's a definitely a dope state. They have a lot of beautiful land out there.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I feel about Norway. It's just so gorgeous out here. Ugh.
Yeah, I bet. I
Um,
could only imagine.
so so you ended up eventually on the West Coast, and then
Yep.
you ended up making it back at some point to the East Coast, or did you
Yeah,
just stay out?
I just got back to the East Coast like it's almost been a year I've been back here.
Okay, nice. Um,
Yeah.
so obviously it took a while to do the whole trip, and like you don't. It's not like you're just burning through places. You want to kind of stay in some places and maybe get a job or something. We'll get into that, but like, what did you bring with you that you found was like the most helpful that you had the whole trip? Like when you first started, you're like, oh, I should pack this. I think it'll come in handy. Um, and then what was the thing that you really wish you brought or had?
Hmm. Huh. Well, I guess like I'm really glad that I had for obvious reasons. I mean, you got to eat on the road, and I didn't want to always like buy food out. Like, I wanted to buy my own food. I had a little cooler, and I was like, just kind of refilling it with ice. I mean, not the best way to keep food, but I kept on top of it.
Mm.
Um, yeah, I was bringing like a little stovetop because I would just pull over wherever and have beautiful views and just make some food and
It's just plug
like
in, right? Electric, or is it?
it it was a little propane
Oh, nice,
Coleman stove. Yeah.
nice. Yeah, I used one of those a bunch camping back in the day.
Yeah. And something
So that you would say that's probably one of the most useful things. It's just like a little
you
stove you could just bring anywhere. You could put it in a backpack if
yeah,
you wanted to. Like
exactly. Yeah.
you could always have
Yeah.
food.
Yep. Probably the most useful thing. Something I wish I had. Dude, if my van was big enough, I wish I had a shower. That was probably the one thing that I had to get used to was showering at gyms. So I got a Planet
Ah,
Fitness.
yeah, that's a good idea. Gyms. I would have never
Yeah,
thought of that.
so yep. Yep, bought a membership and I mean cuz they're all over. They're everywhere.
Yeah, pretty much
So
every town. So,
yeah.
but it is kind of shitty to get gym memberships and then cancel them. Don't you have to pay? Sometimes it's like, you have to actually be there for a couple months. Like, oh, you have to pay for 6 months essentially. They're like, here's a month, but we're also going to charge you like half a month after you cancel
Yeah, they
for like
charge
a
you
few
some
months.
yeah, it's some ridiculous fee that they charge you, but it's not too bad. I mean, it was worth it for me cuz I wasn't like paying rent. I was just paying gas money and
True that, yeah.
insurance and pretty much
And
it.
you
I
do got
mean,
to keep
obviously
clean out
food.
there. I mean, like if you like hurt yourself or get a scratch and you're like dirty, like and you don't have a clean
Yeah,
environment,
you
this shit
got
could be
to.
bad, man.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to. I would always keep on top of my like keeping my van clean too. I would clean it daily
Yeah.
just to, you know, cuz it's such a small space and when you live in a small space like that, you kind of well, you try to pick up all your stuff and
Yeah,
keep
it's
organized as
it's.
much as you can.
I think what like people could relate to that if they've never lived in a van. The closest thing to that is camping for a few days, like in a tent, or making a campsite for a few days. It's not just one night. Like you're gonna make
Yep.
sure it's nice and comfy. Like you want to make sure you have a good seat. You know, maybe you whittle yourself a fucking walking stick and like you brush all the pine
Exactly.
needles away and make sure it's nice. You know,
Yeah.
keep your tent organized so you don't get a bunch of dirt in there and shit. Because you're gonna
Exactly.
be there for a while,
Gotta
so it's like,
gotta keep it clean.
yeah, gotta keep you high and tight. You know.
Exactly. High and tight.
So where did you find work? Like, did you must have brought funds out like to start, but like eventually you run low and you got to get some work. What would you do for work, or how would you find it?
Yeah.
I
So
guess.
I had some funds saved before I left, and I've actually been doing online sex work for 3 years. So that was another source of income for me.
Nice.
Um,
That's definitely
but when
another
I got
episode we'll have to talk about if you're willing.
for sure, yeah,
Fuck yeah.
for sure.
Cool. Yeah. So you had some funds, and then like so you're out there. So you didn't really need to, like you didn't have to find a job necessarily, but did you find any work out there?
So when I got out to Oregon, I actually found some opportunity to work at a hemp farm,
Okay.
um, which was an awesome experience.
Seems safer than like a normal cannabis farm because I hear there's a lot of like shit that goes on out there in the West. With
Yeah,
those
I
grow
mean,
ops.
this farm was pretty sketchy. I'm not gonna lie. The people that worked on the farm, you know, were a little questionable,
Mm,
but it was good money. I mean, it was cash, so
fuck it.
and I got to work with Bud all day. I mean, it was great.
Hell yeah. That's pretty cool, man. How did you find a job like that? Like being out there not really knowing anybody and like did you like how do you find friends first of all and like is it hard to find friends cuz you live in a van? Like do people judge you, do you find?
I mean, I'm sure people probably think I'm like this homeless hippie bitch living out of my van, but like I don't really give a fuck. I would just try to like go places. Like, I mean, I would go out uh often by myself just to like restaurants or whatever, and I'm a pretty sociable person, so I don't mind interacting with people or being like, hey, like,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
kind of what I did when I moved out here and such, or like when I moved up to Vermont. I would go to like a bar, not even necessarily to drink, but maybe get like I don't know, a meal, and then I like if I see
yeah,
some people who are kind of in my age demographic, and maybe they have like a metal shirt on, so I know we have something in common. They go
right,
out to have
yeah,
like a cigarette. I might jump out there in like 2 3 minutes after and try to strike up a conversation.
have a conversation, yeah, exactly.
So that's cool. And then you
So
basically
that's
find
kind of
jobs
how
like
I
that.
yeah, that's kind of just how I fell into that. Just met this person, and um kind of brought up to me, oh, I work at this hemp farm, blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, you guys need help, like, and got me a job. So
Nice,
just kind of fell into my lap.
nice. That's. I mean, fuck. Probably one of the better better ways to get a job. It's just like, hey, you want a job? Yeah, yeah, actually.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Um, yeah, dude. So, I mean, how would you defend? Were you worried ever like about safety being out there? Like, obviously,
Oh,
the
for
van
sure.
has
I
some
mean,
sort of safety feel to it, but like, it must be crazy to just be out there all alone. Like, cops takes a while to get for them to get there. Like,
yeah, it was concerning to me. I tried not to like overthink it too much, being
good call, good call,
a single woman by myself. But I would always, be aware of my surroundings and where I was and who was around me and what was
dude.
going on.
You are fucking saying the right things, man. Every single person, male or female or whatever, if you identify as a fucking glass of milk or an acorn, you need to be aware of
Exactly.
your
Yep.
surroundings. This is really fucking important to any kind of survival or anything, or just anything in life.
Yep.
It's how we walk through existence. You gotta be aware of your surroundings if you want to walk.
For sure. Yeah. So I just kept, a level head on, and I mean, I always carried mace on me.
Nice.
Uh,
So that's a form of defense, 100%. You got I mean, just you must know some way to defend yourself, right? Physically.
Yeah.
So that's a
I
bit
had
there.
carried a bat in my van. I mean, I didn't have a
Nice.
gun.
Harley fucking Quinn in it over here, dude.
Harley fucking
Hey,
good.
hey, Mr.
Yeah.
J, you want some candy? Go in my van with the bat. Whoopsies.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I wish I had a gun. Like, it would have been probably like an extra, security blanket for me if I had that. But I had the bat and I had a pretty decent sized knife and my mace, so
Yep. And then just being
I felt
hyper aware really does take away a lot of anxiety because when you know
yeah
there's nothing really around and like you're always paying attention, so it's like, hey, I looked out this window 5 minutes ago and there wasn't a shadow over there, and now there is. Like, oh, it's just nothing. Okay, that's good. And
yeah
instead of like being fucking spooked by something, then you're really fucked.
spooked and like high anxiety, and then you're
Oh man.
freaking out, and then you got paranoia. Yeah, so I try to keep it cool, calm,
And
collect.
then it's fucking 2 in the morning, and you're driving like a bat out of hell, fucking, to the
Trying to
nearest
get
like
out of
lit
somewhere.
parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck.
Yeah. I mean, I had some weird experiences where I like Walmarts were always sketchy, but
Mm.
I mean, I parked at them because I was just like, well, if I was in some town that there wasn't like a rural like woodsy area to like go camp at, I would just pull up to a Walmart and be like, okay, cool.
It's lit, and I
One
mean, cops go there and patrol most of the time, and there's enough people, so like, you're probably not gonna get fucked with like in a bad way, but people might just wake you up in the middle of the night and be like, hey, you can't park here. And, like, that's very disturbing.
Yeah, it
It'll
is.
it'll it'll get you.
It does get you. Yeah, one night I don't remember where I was, but I was at a Walmart and it was probably like 11:30 at night and I hear this loud knock on my side van doors.
Oh,
Like not my front doors, like the side like back doors. And I was like, "What the fuck?" And I get up and I like open my curtains in the front cuz at the time I had all my windows insulated, and so I couldn't see out my back windows, which I took those out like recently a year ago. But and I look out my front of my van and there's nobody fucking there, and I'm spooked, and I'm like, I get in my driver's seat and I leave that Walmart. I'm like, I'm not staying here tonight. Nope.
that's
And
wild.
I just
So
like
there was just no one there.
no one there, and I was like, I know it. Like it was a
No
loud
shopping
knock too, and I'm
carts?
like,
Maybe a
no
shopping
shopping
cart bounced
carts.
into it. That's what I would think. Like, what the fuck?
It was nothing around the perimeter of my van, so I was like spooked. I got out of there.
Damn. Any other wild stories, like with animals or anything like that?
Um, no, nothing crazy with animals. I mean, I've seen and been pretty close to some bears, like black bears or maybe brown bears. Not too sure. No, it was a brown bear. Yeah, that was out in Cali, like northern Cali. Um, but nothing like wild, nothing crazy. Um, I know one time, I think I was in Iowa. Not sure. One of those states that's like so flat and there's nothing for hundreds of miles. Um, Camped out at a town out there, and the town was so small. Um, but they had this little park that you could camp at, and it had electrical hookups and water hookups. So I was like, hell yeah, and it was free. So I was like, cool, I'm gonna camp here. It was just weird.
Dude, that place
Weird.
sounds like camper's paradise. Like, living in a camper's paradise. Free shit, dude.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Free electric, free water. Hell yeah. Um, yeah, it was just like weird noises all throughout the night. Not sure what it was. Maybe I was spooking myself out. Maybe I smoked a little too much weed. Who knows? But
The devil's lettuce.
yeah,
Wow. Do you think have you ever heard elk before? Could be elk. It
Could have
sounds
been
like a weird like bleat, I guess is the word for it, but you can find it
could
on
have been
YouTube if you never heard one. Maybe that was it. Because I remember hearing those for the first time. I was like, what the fuck? Is there a demon outside? What the hell is that? It sounds like a demon, like, I don't know, whistling slash screaming through its throat while, you know those old school fucking plastic, like, tubes that you would spin and it would go like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that and some other shit. It's fucking weird.
Some weird ass noises.
Dude, it's a weird animal, right? It's got like shit
They
growing
are.
out of its head, and it makes that weird noise, and they're on hooves, giant wieners, and they can't really do anything with them.
Giant wiener.
But yeah, man. Did you ever consider like fishing or hunting for any food, or did you just go to the stores to get stuff?
No, I wasn't that ambitious.
Are you like a vegan or
um,
anything like that? Did you have any
no,
challenges with dieting?
not not vegan. My, I mean,
Veggie,
I eat
vegetarian?
I eat pretty much anything.
Nice.
Meat,
That's what's up. That's why you
veggies.
survive, dude. You know, and that's why you're smart
Yeah,
too. Your brain's getting all the nutrients.
gotta have those vitamins and nutritions.
Fuck yeah. Did you take vitamins when you were out there, like just to supplement?
Oh yeah, yeah. I for sure
Yeah,
had
it's important.
vitamin supplements
Don't want to get scurvy, you
because
know.
I found like I didn't eat as much as I used to. Being on the road, just because like you're on the road, like
You're usually
you kind of
occupied.
live. Yeah, you're doing stuff, or you're like I mean, I would eat within portion control too, because like you can only have so much food. I could only carry so much food in my
Yeah,
van, and
correct.
like so, yeah.
Man, you got to learn like a lot of shit out there, you know? Like fucking that's pretty dope. What was one of
Dude,
the
it
most
was
important
wild.
things or so, like if you could take something out of that, like what's something you really learned from that experience? Maybe about yourself or about the United States in general or just humanity?
Yeah, so dude, I mean, I wanted to do it because of like I'm like this is gonna be like a growing stage for me in my life, and kind of like figure out who the fuck I am, what the fuck I want to do. Um, there's
Mm,
more to life than just going to work and coming home, going to sleep, and doing the same thing every fucking day.
yeah.
And I kind of wanted to live that experience, and the best thing about it for me was being able to wake up in a new spot almost every single day. And and the fact that my backyard could be anywhere I wanted it to be.
Yeah, like
Um,
your home's view, like when you look out the window, could be anywhere you want it. Like, oh, I want mountains
exactly.
this weekend. Next weekend, I want hot beaches. Like, okay.
Yeah. A beach or a lake or middle of the woods with nothing around. Like, um, yeah, I don't know. Uh, it was a great experience. I really can't wait to travel again, to be honest with you.
Nice. So, like, it's definitely something you would recommend, like 5 out of 5 stars, right?
5 out of 5 for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, a lot of people on Instagram, or social media things post about like how van life is so luxurious and blah blah blah, and
It's not
like
that
I had a lot.
all the time, I
I had
feel
a lot
like.
of no, I had a lot of great times, but I also had a lot of like really shitty times where I was like, I'm by myself. Like I got lonely a lot, and
Yeah.
I mean, when you're by yourself traveling for so, and that's why I try to get out, like go have food wherever, have a drink somewhere, and try
Socialize.
to socialize.
Yeah.
Yeah, pre-COVID, of course.
Yeah. Just trying not to, like, go crazy about being. If you ever did get lonely, like, it is important, you know, us as human beings. Most people really do need interaction and can't
Oh,
be,
for
like,
sure.
just left alone all the time. Because you start getting
Yeah, we
sad, you know.
definitely need
It's weird.
social interactions. That's how you grow as a person too.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. It's the beautiful thing about this weird life we fucking live in, you know. It's like it's a weird life, but it's really cool if you can read between the lines and find your little niche in life.
Yeah,
Things that make you
if you
happy,
have
you know.
the right kind of perspective about it too,
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Um real quick before we end, like if everything went to shit, like if something bad happened, like let's say, I don't know, you ran out of money or gas or their van broke down, like did you have like a plan B, like someone you would call besides the police, or did you just have it set up like, all right, I got AAA, like I paid for this, so I know I can make it X amount of miles, like what's the dealio?
Yeah,
What's the delos?
I had I had AAA. Um,
Nice. Fucking
if I were to
smart,
break
dude.
down, yeah, had to have AAA, and I got like the highest amount of miles that you can get towed.
Nice.
Which I think is like 250 miles, some crazy like that.
Nice.
So yeah, if I were to break down, thankfully that didn't happen to me. I mean, I was on a close call when I burnt my brakes out, but I got out of that one.
Yeah, you were in your captain stripe.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking awesome, dude. I did have one other question before we end too. Did you get hurt? Like, did you injure yourself along the way and like anything bad?
No, but that was always something on my mind. Like when I would go for hikes, obviously by myself in the middle of these like, very far out places,
Yeah.
or like middle of a national park, I would always think in my mind like be careful, like wear good shoes, like watch where you're stepping because like if you were like some, places out there are very like steep
Oh
or
yeah.
whatever the conditions may be, like you could get fucked up in a matter of seconds
Yeah.
out in the wilderness. Like Mother Nature is no joke.
I take my hiking up here in Norway very seriously because
You have to.
it is a fucking crazy place, man. The weather can change from being nice and sunny and warm to rainy and very cold. And you might be in a spot that's gonna, have serious like water problems. Like maybe a dried up, I don't know. It could be water runoff, and like you set up your tent and shit, you're fucked. And then like, it is crazy. There's moose and shit out here. You got to really watch out for them. But
Yeah, the
there's
animals.
not so many
Yeah.
dangerous animals out here. Like it is one of those places. I don't really feel like I necessarily need a gun out here, but I would like to have one for sure.
Yeah.
There's really no bears or wolves or anything like that. There's just you got to watch out for really just moose. If you're fucking on a walking trail,
those are big. Those are pretty big animals, though.
yeah, dude, and you get a baby nearby, you're pretty fucked.
Oh,
If they want to
yeah.
get you, if you can't like hide behind like a bunch of trees or something, you're gonna be in trouble.
They're very protective like that.
So same deal. Like anytime I go hiking, like I make sure my phones are charged. I might bring a battery pack. I always bring my med kit. I have like my tent for the night. I have a hammock as well. So if I can't, like if I am in a weird spot where I can't physically like lay down on a tent, I could probably find 2 sticks or 2 rocks to attach my shit together.
Yep.
Usually bring a radio and then try to stick within the range to
you definitely got to be
for the
smart.
home base.
Smart when hiking.
Yeah, bringing food and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. I had thought about getting those. They're so freaking expensive. I don't know I can't remember what they're called, but basically it's like a button that alarms somebody that you're in danger that you need to be, and it like sends your location, like exact location of where you are, kind of thing. I mean, those are great if you're like really going out for a serious hike.
I'm not 100% sure, but I think my buddy was saying that he's got a jacket for skiing or snowboarding that I guess if he were to like, I don't know, getting into some trouble like an avalanche or something, that something goes off in the jacket and then it sends like a position to the people who are gonna, like the fire people and rescue teams. Something had to do with like, it was a very expensive jacket, I guess. I don't know. I might have fucking just had a dream about this shit, to be honest. But fuck, if it doesn't exist, I'm gonna patent that shit.
Yeah, there you go. Because like I said, I've been doing sex work for 3 years about. But you can find me on like all platforms, basically Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, whatever. It's 02wafu, which is spelled WAIFUU. So it's just the number 02 and that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll hook that up in the description of the video down below if you're watching on YouTube. We'll also pop it on Facebook as well. Awesome, dude. Thank you. I appreciate it. You have a good one.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Peace. Hey everybody, thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you'll be told when the next episode is out. Peace!